Yeah.
Congratulations. And, we talked. You knew that you were going to get it done inside the distance. In the fight, Ernesto showed you a real good fight.
Yeah.
He was a very tough opponent. Went through adversity. What did you expect from Ernesto, and how did he? What did you like? How did you react to how he fought?
I want to say I'll go with the guy, and I want you all to get this piece that I'm about to say. I was saying it against Shamil Musayev, and you know what? The true verse of the week for me was, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted, right? And let's be all honest. Shamil Musayev comparison to Ernesto Rodriguez. The odds even showed the difference, in skill talent. I think with Shamil Musayev, I was the underdog, not by a lot, by a little bit, but then going against Ernesto, I was the huge favorite, and that went into my head, and I guess I should say I exalted myself. And I guess when he dropped me the second time, the first time he dropped me, I was like, okay, he got lucky. The second time he dropped myself, I cannot explain or just describe to you how I said to myself, oh Father God, you're gonna humble me. And then my Holy Spirit said, no, this is all we wanted you to do. We only wanted you to humble yourselves here. Let's go. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. I pushed myself, and I knew I was gonna go the distance because I am better than this guy. I truly am better than this guy. And the Lord humbled me through Ernesto. He didn't make me lose. He didn't let me lose. I still won, but I learned. Every person who's at this level is a dog. Everyone at this level wants the chance to be the champion, wants the chance to have this gold around their waist, hands lifted at the end of the fight. And against anyone, stay humble and let the Lord exalt you, as that happened for me tonight. I didn't go to decision. It wasn't a decision. It wasn't a toss-up. I finished my opponent, and I got my hands raised at the end of the day. Thank you, brother. Oh.
Champ.
Champ.
I gotta ask you. Yesterday we asked you what you want to do next after this fight. We talked about possibly moving up to champ.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna give Shamil his match? Or are you gonna give the winner Johnny Edwin and Costello?
You know what? I want to go up to 185. Not this year. And I don't want to go up to 185, but just want to become a double champ at 185. Not this year. Next year is really what I'm looking for, middle of next year. But I think the next opponent, whether it may be Shamil Musayev, God bless him, because he got taken out of this fight due to kidney problems. And if you know, as a fighter, the weight cut is really tough on the kidneys. Or should I go after a name with more of a base, a fan base behind him? At this point, is it just picking the skill set matches, or am I already at the top now, and do I pick the fan base matches? That's what I want to say.
And final question.
Go
I
ahead.
get a lot of, the Silverback Nation came.
Yeah.
The whole jungle was here, dog.
Yeah.
So, do you have a message for them? Anything you want to say to all the fans?
I'm so grateful to the Silverback Nation and the support that they showed me. We all went through adversity tonight. Hey, but at the end of the day, I got my hands raised, and if that's how it is in D.C., imagine with a fight coming back to South Florida, back to home base. The Silverback Nation will fill the stadium. So, PFL, let's get the next fight for the defense at the Hard Rock.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
Congratulations on the winning and on the fight. It was a great fight. Did the striking over Ernesto surprise you?
I don't think his striking surprised me. I think the way that he wanted to strike more surprised me. I thought he would want to more wrestle me more, but he relied a bit more on his striking, and I should have. You know what? I underestimated it. That's the problem. Like I said in the beginning, I had to get humbled a bit, but I underestimated him in the striking aspect of this whole fight. But this is an MMA match, and that, I would say, helped me realize, again, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be a dog. I'm at the top of it now, and I'm going to take every person into account where it comes to striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu, whatever it comes to. I'm going to take every single aspect to this sport into account.
And do you come in wanting to show your grappling or wanting to get the submission? Because we saw a lot of grappling from you tonight.
You know what? I thought, because I was ready for striking, some striking from Shamil. I thought that I knew that going against Shamil, I would get him to want to grapple more. So we were ready for the grappling aspect. Then we went against Ernesto. And again, I was still ready for the grappling aspect, but he mixed more of the striking into it, which shocked me a bit. And he got me. And I think I went for chokes a bit too early. He was slippery, very slippery. So it made me have to change up the strategy a bit more. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, congratulations, first off, champs. Earlier, John was stating that potentially we can see you again before the end of the year.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now, and is that a possibility?
Yes, 1,000%. I'm a fighter. I want to have at least 2 fights in a year. You know, how good is an inactive fighter? You know, who wants to see an inactive fighter? I want to be as active as I can be within the cage. You know, being a champion, the PFL has to use their card a bit more sparingly, but would love to be in fights at least twice a year. One at the end of the year, possibly November. That would be fantastic. If it can be earlier, give me a little quick 2-month layoff so I can get back to grinding again. You know, let the kidney heal up as Shamil's kidney has healed up because of the weight cut, and get right back into it. Yeah, I would love to get back into it. I want to get back into it. You know, you're only as good as your last fight, and you know that stock on the last fight goes as each day goes by. So I want to make sure that my stock continues to grow as much as I get into the cage. You go first, then I'll grab you next. Thank you, brother. Yeah. I think that's what defines a champion. Getting a fight. Let's be honest. If I would have got the fight easily, first round knockout, and I won the fight, how good of a conversation would that be? You know? That went from Shamil Musayev to Ernesto. Of course he was gonna win. No, that went from Shamil Musayev to another dog, to Ernesto Rodriguez, and he came out on top. None of us did. About how tough the fight was. The fight was tough, and I'm happy the fight was tough. I'm happy. You guys have no idea. I am so grateful that fight was tough, because at the end of the day, it taught me: do not ever underestimate an opponent at this level. We are at the top of the top right now, and everyone's gunning for your head. And with that, I'm grateful to Ernesto. Yep, go ahead. Say something. Kinley St. Louis, he's right there. Kinley, what is your favorite quote before we go against an opponent? If you seem like you're too big on yourself. Don't sip on your own Kool-Aid. Don't sip on your own Kool-Aid. You guys know Kinley St. Louis. He is my main training partner, and he always says it. We go into a fight, and he goes, and we have a teammate who looks like they're talking big, they're not taking their opponent's skill set into account, and he always goes, don't sip on your own Kool-Aid, or don't go out there and feel like you're the top of the dog, and that person doesn't want it just as bad as you do. And because of that, I always take that into account, and it helps me get to where I am right now. Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
So this past year has been the longest break in your entire career. Yet
Yeah.
Even through the COVID 2020.
Yeah.
And you kind of mentioned this, kind of been testing this week especially.
Yeah.
Over the past year, what was the biggest test? Was a snake in your front yard? Or the on 2 days notice?
No, I would say the snake. The snake, I'm ready for humans. I'm ready for anyone, but, snakes itself, I think, I am like, I don't want to say terrified, but I'm terrified of snakes, and I live in South Florida, so I haven't seen a snake for years. And for that day, for me to talk that trash and then see a snake, it was a bit more of a like, hey, you got to dig deep. Just like this fight, you got to dig deep and really grab that thing, or you got to really dig deep and grab this victory.
last August, you stated that you want to be the face of PFL.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think in your career you were heavily tested. You've always been tested. But
Yeah.
This is the first heavily tested thing. Both are stocked, obviously, sides of this weight.
Yeah.
Do you think this gets you in that talk now of being the face on the male side?
I feel, like I said to what was your name, brother? Tyler. I said to Tyler. Easy win, a dominant win at this level is always toss up. But a dig deep where towards the fans can really get behind you, where you could be like, hey man, he got it, and he didn't go to the judges, he finished it out. That's the type of win that makes people want to follow you at the end of the day. And I think that gets me closer, if not becoming the face of the to becoming the face of the PFL.
And then last question, we always see the bigger teams, the kill flips,
Yeah.
the big guys.
Yeah.
Your gym is relatively small, but yet you have 2 killers just in this room alone.
Yeah.
What does that say about like not needing to be at the big guys?
Let's be going to the bigger teams. How much attention to detail are you getting as a fighter? You know, let's say you go to a blacksmith. Do you want to go to that blacksmith that takes absolutely everyone, or you want to go to that legendary blacksmith that you have to really, put in 3 months notice for him to even check for your sword or check to build you up. And that's this team. My coaches are right behind you. My main coaches, Jay-Z Kamakante and Daniel Mendez. They put in the work to molding and sharpening our swords so that we can go through this type of adversity. My sword was chipped in this fight. My chin was clipped in this fight, but I was still able to slay my opponent, slay my enemy.
And this time last year, you said your biggest thing about the stage is staying humble. You said it even in this interview session right now.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure seeing you stay humble while you do it.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations on a harder victory. You just became a world champion at 20. And then
Yeah.
You hurt him in the first round, you hurt him in the second, and then you finished it off. I feel like that calls for an epic way to celebrate. So how are you going to celebrate?
You heard the Silverback Nation? Did you hear them?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the Silverback Nation? We're not from here, but we're gonna turn DC up. We're gonna have a great time in DC. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. We're gonna show off the goldware, I should say, and just have a great time in DC. We're in the capital of the United States, and what a great way as a Haitian American to win a place to win the title. I feel blessed completely. Go ahead. He was holding. What's up, brother?
So, very, very spectacular. I'm talking about the Silverback Nation. So the question to you is, how does tag team do against Islam Makhachev in the fight?
Is Makhachev in a fight? I don't know. Let me go against Shamil Messiah first. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm gonna have my hands raised at the end of the day. I'm gonna be ready for each opponent that's put in front of me, and no matter the adversity, I'm gonna be raised as champion.
And also, I see that you're concentrating going to middleweight.
Yeah.
And you think to Messiah, what do you think about guys like Patrick Abarora or ATK, guys like those, do you want to fight those guys too?
You know what? Those are the names that I was talking about that I would rather fight. Am I gonna go against what? At this point, what does Shamil Messiah do for my record? Does he do anything really on beating him? Do I get a bigger fan base from beating him? And if I do, who do I get a bigger fan base in beating? Do I get a bigger fan base in beating Shamil Musayev, Patrick Habarora, Cedric Doumbé? You know what I mean? Do I go to another scene in the European scene and go try to snag that fan crowd? Because at the end of the day, I want to be the people's champ. Nula, merci un peu.
Yes, sir. Congratulations. I did want to ask you a little bit. Like, we saw a lot of action. Started off as like a striking fight, but we saw some wrestling, we saw some grappling.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear, like, what were your coaches telling you in between rounds? Because I feel like there were certain adjustments that you picked up on. You started to read your opponent, you started to get more familiar with his timing. What were some of like the key things your coaches told you that they wanted to see from you as the fight progressed?
You know what? I got a little bit too ahead of myself. After I heard him, thinking, okay, I could finish this guy immediately. He's rocked. I said before, I rock my opponents sometimes, and I just got to be smarter and hurt them. I rocked them. I got too ahead of myself, and my coaches were telling me, hey, man, hey, relax. Get the distance. Keep your hands up. Stop getting too comfortable in that middle of the exchange. I'm a longer guy. Why should I be up and close and personal with the guy who wants to just swing heavy as he did, you know? So my coaches were making sure that I stayed grounded and, you know, just stayed within the game plan of keeping your distance. If it comes inside, use those elbows, use those knees. And if it goes to the ground, don't go for jiu-jitsu. The biggest thing is position before submission, you know? And that was the biggest thing that I had to go for. I can't just be snagging the first thing that comes to me. I have to make sure I establish myself in that position and making sure that I really capitalize on where I am in the moment.
Yes, sir. And then my second question, when I first did media with you a few years back, you were actually getting ready to fight on the Challenger Series.
Yeah, nice.
And that was a few short years ago. Now you're the welterweight champion.
Yeah.
PFL. Can you tell me, like, what you learned of yourself as being PFL Challenger Series fighter today? Like, what's been, like, the biggest, like, growth experience in your career?
I think I have that dog in me, man. I truly believe I have that dog in me. I'm 28 and I'm the world champion now. I'm 12-0. I'm 12-0 and I'm holding this. Think about it. I'm at one of the highest levels and organizations, and I am the world champion. Look at the people around me. Look at their records. Look at the people they're going against. Look at the road that I had to go to get to this. Last year's tournament with Berkemov, with Jason Jackson, with Thorley. I haven't gotten this by no means in an easy way. I have not gotten this with by no means an easy way. We go against this opponent that I had tonight. He dropped me, right? Did he not drop me? He dropped me. My butt hit the canvas. But I got back up and I said, excuse my language, F that. I'm not going to curse. I said, F that. And Dad, do you want this? Lord, I want this. I'm going to pour my heart out and show you how bad that I want this. And at the end of the day, you know, we're both tired in that third round, right? Who's not tired in that third round, especially with the type of fight we just went through for the first and second round? We both try to take each other's head off. But at the end of the day, who wants it? Who wants it better? I'm sure he wanted it, but I wanted it even more. I got that dog in me.